talk about Reverend Green and also higher order functions and callbacks, which we've been doing some work with already. So you're already pretty experienced with what it's like to use higher order functions and callbacks. Maybe we weren't really calling them higher order functions, but higher order functions in JavaScript is what enables us to do these functional programming techniques, because a function in JavaScript is data. And that's not true in other languages, or it's not true in all languages, that functions can be data. And when I mean function is data, what I mean to say is that we can pass functions around, we can return them without invoking them and things like that, just like you would an object or, say, some primitive value like a 0 or a true. So really, higher order functions and callbacks are the core concept of functional programming. It's very powerful too. So let's get going with it. So a higher order function can take a function as an input. For example, this add event listener. Have you guys used add event listener, right? We're taking this function as an input. Cool. And we can return a function, as we saw before, as an output. Here we are returning a function. All right. So callbacks are just functions that we pass to functions. And we're going to just kind of experiment with this. We're going to run this like we've been running our code so far as a group. Who wants to go first?
Got it.
All right. Thanks, Ben.
Okay, we're declaring a const if else, and that's going to be using arrow notation. It's going to be a function, which is going to take in 3 arguments. Condition is true, is false.
Yep.
Or parameters, excuse me.
Absolutely. So we're declaring our function here. We're saving it to our const. We're creating a variable, a constant variable. Okay? And then who's next? Dan, you want to go next?
Or invoking that function?
Yeah, we call it. And we pass true. A couple anonymous functions. And then, Ryan, what does it do when we enter into the body of the function?
So it is, it's like a ternary. So it's asking if that condition, which is true, and if it is true, which it is, it returns is false. So it returns is false.
If it's true, then you do this. Otherwise, you do that.
Yes.
But yeah.
Question mark?
So the question mark, this is a ternary operator, which is a short, it's kind of a Java adopted thing. It's shorthand for if else. So it says, if condition is true, so if this is true, then do that. Otherwise, do this. That's what that means. Just a shorthand. What's that?
I just haven't seen it before.
Yeah, no worries.
So it does is true.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in this case, we're passing true. True, is true, and then we log true.
We return the console log. Did something wonky happen there, or would it just execute the log?
Yeah, it'll just execute. It'll return whatever the log returns, which is undefined.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Cool. Any questions? So this would be like a kind of functional style if-else. All right. So, oh, I forgot.
Does it return the whole function there?
Yeah. So in this case, it's going to return the whole function. Why?
Because the entire function is being passed as the second argument.
Yeah. And is console log actually happening? No. Why not?
It wasn't invoked.
It was not invoked. So we'd need to do a little something like this. to invoke it, and now it's going to log. Sometimes I trick even myself. Forget what my tricks are. So here we are. I just put them in a variable now so that we can pass them that way. And we're calling it. Okay? So we're passing a function, and we're calling that function just the same as you would call log true here, right? It's the same, except that it's just the parameter name gives it another name to reference it by, that's all. This can be confusing for people sometimes.